Now, we still remember when Toyota first offered the Vios in the Philippine market. They had a very unique image model and endorser. I'll give you a clue, and it's a musical one. 4 notes only. Got it? Good. Well, Toyota is now transcending that entire image completely. Actually, they've left it far behind, and they're now racing with the Vios and making it more exciting. And that's what this one actually represents. This is the Toyota Vios GR Sport, or GRS. Now, I don't have to explain what the Vios is to you anymore because, well, it's everywhere. This is the best-selling vehicle in the Philippines consistently for the last 10 or even more years, with the exception of 1 year in 2017. That was the Fortuner's year as the best-selling vehicle in the country. This one is made in the Philippines, and it is based on the Toyota Vios G. So a lot of the features are going to be similar. But for the GRS, Toyota elevated quite a few things, particularly with the styling. The Vios GR Sport comes in 3 colors. Black, pearl white, which costs a little bit extra, and then this shade of red. Actually, it looks really, really nice. A lot of the exterior details are actually black, which looks really neat as well because it's piano black, not the unpainted black kind. So up here in front, you can see that Toyota put a bumper overlay to make it a bit sportier, a bit more aggressive. Actually, on the spec sheet, the Vios GRS measures just a little bit more than the Vios G, which is kind of unusual. But when you look at the front bumper, you can see that it's actually extended a little bit by that front spoiler. Now, from this angle, you can see more of what Toyota did to the GRS. You have black side mirrors, black door handles, side skirt, these GRS exclusive 16-inch wheels. They look pretty good. Rear skirt also looks pretty good. And the rear spoiler completes the entire design of the new model. And just so you don't forget what it is you're driving, there's a GR Sport logo right here. Now, as you can see around me, it seems I picked the worst day to do a car review. But no matter, it's all good. When you get inside the Vios GRS, it actually looks really nice. Much of the look, actually everything is pretty much standard Vios G, but there are a few changes. For example, you've got red stitching on the steering wheel, red stitching on the shift knob for the automatic, or for the CVT. You've got paddle shifters here, just like the Vios G. You have a different gauge cluster with a larger multi-info display, and it also has the GR logo when you power it up. And speaking of powering up, the ignition button has a GR logo too. Pretty neat. What I really like about the GRS Vios are actually these seats. When you look at it, you can tell that there are 2 kinds of materials used for the upholstery. One is leather, the other one looks a lot like Alcantara to me. It looks really nice when you put those 2 together. And the stitching gives a nice contrast too. It's red, as with other details inside the vehicle. But when you look at the headrest of the seat, well, you've got the GR logo embroidered right there. Pretty cool. But the thing I like the most about this driver's seat is that it kind of hugs you. That one I did not expect from the GRS Vios. Because when you're cornering, well, it's gonna hold on to you a little bit more. Now, when it comes to the driving experience, there's not much really to report, and that is not actually a criticism, because a lot of the qualities that make the Vios so very popular in our market, like how comfortable it is, how smooth it is over our roads, are preserved in the GRS Vios. Here's the question we want to answer though. Did Toyota make the Vios GRS drive any better than the Vios G? For that, we'll go to our little compound and find out. Now, I've been throwing around the Vios in our little figure 8 course for a couple of minutes now, and what I can say is this: it feels pretty much exactly the same as the Vios 1.5G. The handling is alright. The power from the engine is quite okay. It's not really going to be wow, amazing, nothing like that. But for what it is, and to match with the weight or the way the vehicle is actually quite okay. The braking is the one thing that really sets the Vios apart from a lot of its competitor models. When you stomp on the brakes, the brakes on the discs can take quite a bit of abuse. The Vios actually has a very tight turning radius. When you apply throttle, yeah, it really does go around. So this would be quite fun around the slalom or a gymkhana if you like that kind of thing. But when it comes to the handling, this is very different from, let's say, the Vios Cup cars we drove before at Clark. The handling on those, because they changed out some of the things with the vehicle and improved the suspension, the handling is very different compared to this one. I actually expected this to handle something a bit closer to that, or to feel a bit closer to that, without stripping away all the amenities inside. But no, it actually feels very Vios 1.5G inside here. And is that a bad thing? Well, let's explain why when we go under the hood. And here's the reason why. Toyota didn't change anything mechanically. The engine is a 2NR FE. It makes 107 horsepower and 140 Newton meters of torque. Exactly the same as the Vios 1.5G. Even the filter hasn't changed. There's no new parts here. I mean, when you look here, yeah, it's still the white filter. When you look at the suspension, there's no strut bar to make it stiffer for cornering. The shocks and the springs, exactly the same as the 1.5G. Even when you look at the tires, it says Bridgestone, but it's Turanza, it's not Potenza. So there should be no expectations of any performance upgrade with the Vios GRS. Now, 15 years ago, Toyota Motor Philippines offered something known as the Toyota Corolla Altis 1.6S. The philosophy and the styling is pretty much similar to what the GRS is here now in 2021. Put on a nicer body kit, nicer wheels, and you can sell a few more because it's a bit sportier. I do wish that Toyota put in some kind of upgrade mechanically with the engine or with the exhaust or with the suspension. Actually, the Malaysian version of this has a suspension upgrade, but we don't get it. I do understand why Toyota held back, and that's because of the pricing. As it stands, this model is 1,020,000 pesos. That's for the Super Red and for the black. If you opt for the Pearl White, that one is 1,035,000. Yes, definitely you pay a premium for the GRS. Do you think the Vios GRS will sell well? Do you actually like how it looks? Let us know in the comments below what you think of this model from Toyota. This is Vince of Auto Industria. Thank you for watching. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Log on to autoindustria.com for the latest news and reviews. And don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel.